You ever get that feeling where you've spent hours studying English, and yet when life hits you with a simple "what's up," you blank out? Yeah. That moment where your brain goes, sorry, we only know how to say global warming and economic development, and you're standing there wondering why the heck you never learned how to say, I'm tired, or let's grab coffee. Welcome to Monday English Podcast, the place where we stop pretending your English problems are about grammar. They're not. They're about you trying to live your life in English. But all you've learned is how to pass exams. Well, screw that. This isn't school. This is your life. And today, we're going to talk about why you keep translating the news instead of translating your own damn life. Look, I get it. You've been taught that sounding smart means knowing big words. You've read articles, watched news reports, maybe even followed some fancy English blogs. But here's the truth. None of that helps when your friend asks, what did you eat today? And all you can think of is nutritional value. Come on, be honest. You've learned how to talk about politics, but you can't even flirt in English. And I'm here to roast that nonsense. Gently. Maybe. Today's episode is called Translate Your Life, not the news. Because seriously, unless you're planning to be a journalist, you have no business knowing how to say International Climate Summit if you can't even say, I'm hungry. Let's be real. How many times have you practiced saying economic growth this week? And how many times have you practiced saying, I'm so tired I could sleep for a week? Exactly. Your English isn't broken. It's just been learning the wrong stuff. This channel, this podcast, it's not about showing off. It's about showing up. For yourself, for your real life. Not for the textbooks, not for the tests. For the actual conversations you want to have, but never dare to start. So today, let's throw away the news. Forget the politics. Let's talk about you. Your day. Your words. Your voice. And if anyone ever told you that wasn't good enough, they lied. Let me tell you about Lynn. Smart girl. Hardworking, knows every possible way to say climate change in English. Seriously, she could give a whole TED Talk about global warming without blinking. But last week, we're sitting in this tiny cafe, and the waiter comes over, smiles, and asks her, do you want anything else? You know what she said? Nothing. Just smiled, looked at me, and panicked. Because her brain? Full of headlines, full of big words, full of nothing she actually needed right then. She didn't know how to say, can I have one more coffee, please? Like, really? Years of English and not a single sentence for coffee. And she's not alone. You're probably doing the same thing. This is what happens when you keep translating the news instead of your life. You learn to talk about stuff you never talk about. You know how to explain economic disasters, but you don't know how to tell your friend, I'm bored, let's go out. It's like preparing for a marathon when all you need is to cross the street. Useless. Absolutely useless. And let me ask you this. Why are you even learning English? To impress someone with your knowledge about global issues? Or to live a little, laugh a little, survive daily conversations without looking like a confused robot? Be honest. You're here because you want to feel normal when you speak. You want to say the simple things like, I had a bad day, or this food is amazing, without having a mini heart attack. But you've spent all your time memorizing words that belong in a newspaper, not in your mouth. You want to get better? Then stop trying to sound like a reporter. Start sounding like you. Say what you say, not what BBC says. Translate the stuff that matters. Your feelings, your little moments, your random thoughts at 2 a.m. Because trust me, no one's going to test you on socioeconomic disparity when all you want is to find the bathroom. You know what's wild? People think learning English means learning every word. Like somehow, if you know 10,000 words, life will magically get easier. Spoiler, it won't. You don't need more words. You need the right ones. The ones you actually use. The ones that come up when your phone battery dies, or when you're late, or when you're hungry and just want some food without sounding like a lost tourist. Think about it. When was the last time you needed to say global recession? Now think about how many times you've needed to say, I know, or I don't know, or wait for me, or where are you? That's the real English, the kind that helps you live, not just sound smart. And here's the thing. No one teaches you that. They teach you economic growth and international relations like you're about to join the UN. But nobody tells you how to say, can I sit here? Or, I'm just looking, thanks. You spend years stuck in this weird space where you can write an essay about climate change, but can't ask someone to pass the salt. Why? Because you've been translating the wrong things. You've been trying to learn English like it's this big fancy puzzle, when really, it's just tool. Like your phone, like your keys. You don't worship your phone, right? You use it. Same with English. Use it. Use it. Badly. Messily? But use it. Let me give you a tip. Start with your day. What do you do every morning? Wake up. Check your phone. Maybe scroll through Instagram. How do you say that in English? Not the Instagram posts, not the quotes about success. Just you. I woke up late. I'm still sleepy. I need coffee. Translate that. Practice that. Because that's the English you actually live. That's the English that matters. You don't need more books. You need more real life in English. And trust me, your life is interesting enough. You don't need the news. You've got plenty of drama in your own day. Here's what I want you to do. And no, it's not hard. It's just real. Starting today, start translating your life. Not the news, not what's trending on Twitter, not some fancy article about politics you don't even care about. Your life. The stuff you actually say when you're not pretending to be smarter than you feel. Wake up in the morning and instead of scrolling through more useless word of the day posts, ask yourself, what did I say yesterday? What did I think? What did I feel? Now, say that in English. Can't? Good. Now you know what to practice. You don't need a textbook for this. You don't need some YouTube guru teaching you how to debate world issues. You need your words. So, here's a simple thing. Write down 5 things you say often, not in English, in your language. The stuff you say when your phone dies, when you're hungry, when someone annoys you. Now translate that. Just those 5. No more. Then say them out loud every day until they're yours. Not just in your head, but in your mouth. Because that's where English lives, not in your brain, but in the way you use it. And when you're done with those 5, add 5 more. Slowly, like building a playlist. You don't listen to every song in the world, right? You pick the ones that hit you, that feel like you. Do the same with English. Build your playlist of sentences. I'm tired, I'm hungry, what time is it? Let's go. Leave me alone. You get the idea. This is your life, not a conference. And don't just write them, say them. Talk to yourself. Yeah, I said it. Out loud, in the shower, on the way to work, while you're cooking. Make your mouth used to the words. Make your ears hear your own voice in English, because that's the only way it sticks. You want to get better? Then start living in English, not just studying it. And don't wait for someone to talk to you. You talk first, to yourself if you have to. Let me tell you some real stories. Because honestly, nothing proves my point better than the ridiculous things we say when we try too hard to sound smart. I once had a student. He was so proud of his vocabulary, loved throwing big words around like they were candy. One day, we're at a street food stall, and he wants to ask the vendor if they can lower the price. But instead of just saying, "Can it be cheaper?" which, by the way, would have been perfect, he looks dead serious and says, "I would like to negotiate the financial aspects of this transaction." I swear, the vendor thought he was being pranked. And me? I almost choked on my noodles. Like, bro, we're buying a sandwich, not signing a business contract. And I get it. You want to sound smart. But sometimes, simple is smarter. Another one, a friend of mine once told a girl, "I'm very excited." No, that's not a typo. That's exactly what he said. And you know what? She laughed. but not in a bad way. It was cute, it was real, and it started a whole conversation. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be there. You need to show up, say something, even if it's wrong, and keep going. That's what people remember. Not the perfect sentence, but the moment you dared to speak. You think people are judging you? Nah. They're busy worrying about their own mistakes, and if someone does judge, that's their problem. You just gave them a free show. Good for them. Great for you. Because every time you mess up, you get closer to not messing up. That's the deal. So stop trying to be the BBC. You're not auditioning for a news anchor job. You're just trying to live, talk, connect. Your life isn't some polished speech. It's messy, loud, funny. Let your English be the same. Let's wrap this up. Let's stop pretending. Your English isn't about big words. It's not about fancy phrases or sounding like you've just stepped out of some elite language school. It's about you, your life, your stories, your random thoughts when you're lying in bed, wondering why the hell you still can't say, "Let's hang out," without overthinking it. You've been trained to think that if you don't sound perfect, you shouldn't speak. That if you can't talk about politics or science, then you should just stay quiet. But guess what? Silence doesn't make you better. Speaking does, even if it's ugly. Especially if it's ugly. So here's what I want from you. Today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, take one moment from your day, just one, and put it into English. I don't care if it's, "I'm so tired of this job," or "I need more coffee," or "This rain is killing me." Whatever it is, say it. Say it out loud. Mess it up. Fix it. Say it again. That's how this works. Not with textbooks. Not with lectures. With life. With your voice. You don't need permission to speak. You don't need a certificate to talk about your day. You just need to care enough to try. And if you're still thinking, "But I don't know enough words," stop. You know enough to say something. Maybe not everything, but something. And that's all you need. Start with something. The rest comes later. Thanks for sticking with me through this roast. If you're still here, congrats. You're not just a passive learner anymore. You're a fighter. You're someone who gets that English isn't about passing tests. It's about passing through life without being stuck in silence. So go. Live in English. Not just on paper, not just in your head. Out loud. For real. And hey, if you like this episode, share it. Someone out there needs to hear this too. Someone who's still stuck translating headlines when they should be translating their own life. And if that someone is you, well, now you know what to do.